looking hard into your eyes. There was nobody I'd ever known, such an empty surprise to feel so alone. Hey, it's Nate with another piano tutorial. Today I'm doing Late for the Sky by Jackson Browne. I've been wanting to do more Jackson for a while. Usually I do an artist's most popular song, but for me, his deep cut, introspective piano ballads are where it's really at with him. If you're not familiar with the song already, give it a listen. And it's a great one to learn because the piano part is simple and pretty easy, but also quite deep. There are a lot of little tricks within it that could be applied to other songs as well. Anyway, let's jump in. Alright, so first off, I recommend you get the chords and lyrics chart. There's a link down in the description that'll help you follow along and see where the words and the lyrics line up with each other. And this song is a great example of what I love about Jackson Browne's piano playing. There's a lot of space. It's a lot of just holding simple chords, but then he'll do these little emphatic decorations like... So we can explore a lot of those. We're going to start out with the intro. Here's the chords for that, and that is also basically the verse as well. So we'll start with just the simple chords, and then we'll go through for some of those decorations. So first off, we've just got a classic root position C major triad, C, E, G. Left hand's going to be playing 2 octaves down on this super low C with the pinky, and this is middle C here. Also, this song is in the key of C, so lots of white notes, makes it a little bit easier. After that C, we're going to come down to a root position G chord coming up to the thumb in the left. So just G, B, D, stepping that down to F, F, A, C, second finger here in the left. Now C over E, so the over E, the slash E part is the bass note. So I'm going to step down to this E here. And for the right hand, my pinky's going to stay on middle C, and I'm going to do an E and a G with my first and second finger. So that's just an inversion on the C major chord we did to start. Stepping down to this D minor here, fourth finger for the left, D, F, and A. Now we're going to come up to this A minor, also root position, A, C, E. I'm going to just stretch my left hand thumb up a little bit there for that. And then I can just kind of hop the thumb down, G just like we did it before, then F just like we did it before. And that F is 2 measures long. Speaking of measures, we're in 4/4 time here, thinking kind of a slow 1, 2, 3, 4. So each of these measures gets 4 counts. Notice that one measure with the A minor and the G crammed into one measure. That means that each of those chords get 2 counts. So in that measure, we'll have 1, 2, 3 for the G hitting on beat 3. I'll do a slow playthrough of that line so you can get the hang of the chords. And right off the bat, in addition to just hitting and holding the chords, I'm also going to play on beat 4 in the right hand because that's one of the rhythms he does most commonly throughout. So start getting a feel for that. C, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, 3, 4, C over E, 2, 3, 4, D minor, 2, 3, 4, A, 2, G, 4, F, 2, 3, 4. So for the A minor and G, I just kept it simple. Just playing on beat 1, 2, 3, 4. By the way, I'm using the sustain pedal to keep everything real smooth as I move to the next chord with a quick lift every time the chord hits so it doesn't get too muddy. If you need help with sustain pedal timing, I made a video all about that. Now let's go through and look at all the little decorations he uses to jazz up and make that intro engaging when there's no vocals. If you're more beginner, you can totally skip some of this. It's a little bit tricky, but I wanted to look at it now because some of these rhythms and ideas is going to be the kind of stuff I use throughout the verses and stuff. Right off the bat, for the C chord, it sounds like this. So we're going to need to divide the beat a little bit. We're going to use a lot of eighth notes in this song, so dividing the beat in half, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Just for those really quick notes at the very beginning, they're actually 16th notes, so dividing the beat in 4, 1 E and a, 2 E and a. And the first C, D melody notes, the melody that gets played here is basically C, D, D, E. We do a little harmony with the other chord notes, but for now, just think C, D, D, E. And the C and D, the first C and D are pickup notes, 16th notes that kind of hit. The first measure doesn't actually start with the left-hand bass note until the second D. And then it steps to E. And the timing there is like 1, 2, 3, 4 E and a 1 and. Now, to complicate that a little bit more, on the first C, you can hit the top note, the G, with your pinky. And again, on the downbeat there, before stepping to there. And you can even add the bottom note at that point. There's different ways to do it. You could keep it just simple with a. That sounds good too. There's also a little C, D right at the end of that measure on 4 and. So 2, 3, 4 and. Now go into the G. G, 2, 3 and 4. So on 3 and 4, the 8th notes there, we're just gonna step up B, C, D. 1, 2, 3 and 4. And on beat 3 and 4, you can add the root of the chord. 3 and 4. You can even do a little rhythm with your left hand there. Really similar thing on the F too. F, 2, 3 and 4. Just walking up A, B, C. Now we get to the C over E. Very similar thing rhythmically here, but it happens at the bottom on E, F, G. So far we've got, for the first 4 measures, I'll take it slow. 2, 3. 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. D minor. So the D minor, there's no special melody thing. But now that we're here, I want to add one extra rhythm that is going to be used throughout, which is, in addition to maybe hitting on beat 4, hitting on the and after 2, thinking 1, 2, and 3, 4. When things get a little bit more energetic, I'm going to be throwing that in. So maybe just take a second to kind of loop that on the D minor. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. Sometimes you can do a bass note on the and after 4. Just giving you some options here. Hopefully this is not too overwhelming. Then for the A minor to G, there's this nice little pattern here. It can sound like this. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. So you hit together on 1, and then 2, and is bottom note, top notes, and then 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. Actually, yeah, just on the and after 4, just the top 2 notes there. Then for the F, 2, and 3, 4, just kind of hanging out on that rhythm. And then on the very last measure here, we're going to hit on 3, 4. So beats 3 and 4. He does that throughout, especially at these transitional moments, kind of at the end of a line, just really emphasizing both 3 and 4. And at this particular moment, on the 4th beat, doing like a sus2 chord instead of the middle note there, just the second finger on that G. 3, 4, and then we would be dropping into the verse. So one more time, that whole intro. The words heddle. So that is hitting the first verse. Here's the chords for the verse. You'll notice it's very similar. The first line is the same as the intro. The second line is the same again, except for it ends on C instead of F. And the one other difference that I should mention is for the C's going forward, instead of that root position C we started on, they're going to be down here, just like we did for the C over E. But if it just says C, we're going to use that C bass note. So I could just go ahead and play through this verse. You already know everything you need to know. I'll sing through the whole thing slowly. And just notice I'll do a mix of just giving it space and playing on beat 4, sometimes doing that and 3, 4. You can always throw in the stuff. He does do that sometimes in the verses, but way more sparingly than it is in the intro. Now the words had all been spoken, but somehow the feeling still wasn't right. And still we continued on through the night. You can do that. Tracing our steps from the beginning until they vanished into the air. Maybe throw in the trying to understand how our lives had led us there. One other possible detail that I want to mention, because I'm sure it's going to sneak its way into my playing, is a little bit of just kind of breaking up chords into single notes, especially on the beats 4 and, like 1, 2, and 3, 4 and 1, 2. It's another way he kind of emphasizes the end of measures. So next up we've got the pre-chorus. Here's the chords for that. Right off the bat for this section, I'm going to start playing a little bit more energetic of a rhythm pattern. Let's just take it on the F, which is where it starts. I'm going to start doing quarter notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and do some more offbeat hits with the left hand. So like 1, 2, and 3, 4, together, right, left, right, together. Like so. That's just going to kind of raise the energy here. In this first measure here, notice there's 2 dashes. That's keeping track of beat 2 and 3, and G hits on beat 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just kind of transition on the way up to A minor, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, F, 2. So all chords we've done so far. Now E minor, 2. We haven't done that one yet, but it's just E, G, B, same exact shape, root position. But that's only 2 counts, E, 2, then G over D. Now from this E minor, the only thing that needs to change in the right hand is the thumb's gonna pop down to a D. This is an inversion on a G major chord. Left hand's gonna step down from E to D. And then for the next little bit here, we have some nice kind of inverted slash chords that sound kind of cool. We're just going to step this exact shape down to F over C. Again, this is an inversion on an F chord, C, F, A. So F over C, 2, 3, 4, up to A minor over E. So we're going to just keep that same shape and step it up 2, and that's 2 counts to F, 2. Let me stop right there before we do too much. So from the beginning of the pre-chorus, we have F, 2, 3, G, A minor, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, F, 2, E minor, 2, G over D, 2, F over C, 2, 3, 4, A over E, 2, F, 2. So that just kind of steps up with the bass line there and goes back to the root position F there. Now those 2 measures we just looked at, the F over C to up to the A minor over E, here's what he plays. So we actually do like another G over D. It's just so in passing, you're just stepping up to the A minor. So I didn't write it in there, but that would be on beat 4, and then we actually hit the A minor over E, an 8th note early on the and after 4 in that first measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Empty surprise to feel so okay, last little bit here. I'm gonna actually move my left hand 3rd finger up to this G. So this is just a regular G bass note because we're gonna step up to F over A, just a regular old F, but stepping up to an A bass note, and then move the right hand back to G as we do the B bass note. So really nice moment there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now for me. So that would be going into the second verse. The first pre-chorus does not then go on to a chorus. It just goes straight to the next verse. I'll do one more slow sing through that pre-chorus and then we can keep cruising. Looking hard into your eyes, there was nobody I'd ever known. Such an empty surprise to feel so alone. 2, 3, 4. Now for me, some words. So yeah, let's look at the second verse. Here's the chords for that. It is the exact same as the first verse, just different lyrics, except at the end, when we're on that last F, about to go to the C, it does. So it's this really cool moment where we've got this F, then C over E, F over D, C. So we're just going back and forth between this F and this C shape, and it hits the F again before stepping down, doing a C shape, stepping down, doing an F shape, stepping down, doing a C shape. The rhythm there is 1, 2, hit the F again on beat 3, and then step down. The counts with the stepping down, they're triplets. You can just kind of do it by feel. If you slow down a little bit, that works too. 1, 2, triplet. So it's like cramming 3 hits into the second half of that measure. You can be a little loose with it. So those last 4 measures would be maybe the picture of somebody you were hoping I might be. And then we are back to another pre-chorus for awake again, I can't pretend. So here are the chords for that next pre-chorus. It's basically like the pre-chorus we just learned. There's just right at the end a little bit of an extra moment that's similar to the one we just learned, where you're kind of going back and forth between an F and a C shape. So this is coming off of the feeling we've known, and then it does this, going into the chorus. So after the G, the F over A, G over B moment, we're gonna come down and do C, C over C, then stepping up in the left hand, F over D, C over E, and we are gonna land in a regular F here, but that's the start of the chorus, so we don't have it on the screen yet. Again, just going back and forth between those two shapes, this time stepping up in the left hand. It sounds really fancy, but it's really not too tricky. And the rhythm there, again, is sort of a triplet rhythm. So we've got the G over B, 2, 3, da, 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 triplet, da. But again, that's a moment you can kind of slow down a little bit and drag it out. So after the, that's landing in the chorus. So here is the chorus chords. We've got F, 2. How long have I been sleeping? So just chords we've done. I'm doing that kind of more active quarter note pulse with a little bit of offbeat rhythm. In the left, D minor, 2, 3, 4. And then just like we did in the verses, A minor, 2, G, 2. You could just keep the quarter note pulse going. Now here's the new stuff. We've got F, 2, 3, 4. Now C over G, we're gonna do the same C shape we've been doing, but step up to the G bass note, 2, 3, 4. Now G7 sus4. It sounds fancy, but the only thing you need to change is just take that thumb up to an F, 2, 3, 4. Right back to the C over G, 2, 3, 4. F, 2, 3, 4. Now A minor 7, first time we've seen that. We're gonna of course go to an A bass note here. But in the right hand, you can just do that same shape we've been using for the C. Nice colorful chord. Let me just sing through that whole chorus. I'm gonna sing it down an octave because it is a little high for my voice. How long have I been sleeping? How long have I been drifting alone through the night? How long have I been dreaming I could make it right if I close my eyes and try with all my might to be the one you need? So here it goes to the guitar solo section. The guitar solo section, here, put that up on the screen. It's the same as the second verse. But since we don't have a guitar player here, I'm gonna, for the first line of it, go back to the, and just basically do what we did for the intro. Probably for the second line, I'm gonna keep it just a little bit more straight up. Maybe throw a lot of those in. And then at the end of it, we have that. The rhythm is a little different than it was at the end of the verse 2. In verse 2, we did 1, 2, 3, da, da, da. This time, it doesn't hit the F the second time. It just does 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1. So rhythm's actually a little simpler. It hits on the actual counts. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, which brings us into the final pre-chorus and chorus. The pre-chorus is the same as we've been doing it. Here's the chords for the final chorus, and it's just like the first chorus, except for it doesn't go to the A minor 7 after we have that whole C over G moment with running for that morning flight through the whispered promises and the change in light. So here's where we went to the A minor 7 before, but we're gonna go back to C over G for of the bed where we both lie. Now G, and then late for the sky. So after we have that G, that's the same as we've been doing it, late for the sky, we're gonna hit a C chord. This is the first time in the song, though, that this particular version of C has come up. We've done this one and this one. Here's the third option, so G, C, and E. All I've written down here is C for a measure, down to B flat over C for a measure. First time we have a black key in the song, and it sounds a little surprising there. So that's going to be F, B flat, and D, and of course keeping that C there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. That would be the simple way to do it, but here's what he actually plays. So basically you're going to hit a G on beat 4, just really quickly, and then immediately go to that on the and after 4. We had a rhythm like that earlier in the song as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. The song just ends by repeating that over and over again. And then it fades out, which is hard to do on piano. 2, 3, 4. I'll probably just end it like that. So just hit a final C back to that lower C, because I think it sounds a little bit more grounded and final than that one did. You can just let that ring out, and the song is over. All right, thank you for sticking with me. I am now going to do a full sing through so you can see how all these different parts fit together. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe to the channel. If you have not already, click the bell so you know when I put out more videos like this one, and leave a request down in the comments. Okay, here's my version of Late for the Sky. Now the words had all been spoken, but somehow the feeling still wasn't right. And And still we continued on through the night. Tracing our steps from the beginning until they vanished into the air. Trying to understand how our lives had led us there. Looking hard into your eyes, there was nobody I'd ever known. Such an empty surprise to feel so alone. Now for me, some words come easy, but I know that they don't mean that much compared with the things that are said when lovers touch. You never knew what I loved in you. I don't know what you loved in me. Maybe the picture of somebody you were hoping I might be. Awake again, I can't pretend, and I know I'm alone and close to the end of the feeling we've known. How long have I been sleeping? How long have I been drifting alone through the night? How long have I been dreaming I could make it right if I closed my eyes and tried with all my might to be the one you need? Awake again, I can't pretend, and I know I'm alone and close to the end of the feeling we've known. How long have I been sleeping? Drifting alone through the night. How long have I been running for that morning flight through the whispered promises of the changing light on the bed where we both lie, late for the sky